Long time no see on the CLNS Patriots Roundtable. Alex Barth with you, along with Mike Alongi. Wish we were coming to you under better terms. It seems like every time this offseason, we have to jump on one of these roundtables. It's just something else that's causing us to pull our hair out. This week, Julian Edelman, 4-game suspension for PEDs. It's not official yet. He will appeal, but given some odd comments yesterday, it seems like this is going to stick. And I mean, just right off the bat, another emotional blow in this, what has been just dragging out 2018 offseason.
Yeah, it's a tough hit, especially coming from a guy who, obviously Julian Edelman missed all of last season with his ACL injury. He's been rehabbing for the past year. I think that's actually kind of what lends credence to the fact that he might have taken something, simply because, we've heard in the past, you remember Rodney Harrison, who was trying to come back from an injury later in his career, ended up with the getting popped for the HGH, things like that. We had Rob Ninkovich just last season, who, he was working out, trying to get back from injury, and was taking a supplement that just happened to have whatever. I was listening to him the other day on WEEI, and he was talking about how, he just was taking a supplement and had this something in it, and that's how you get popped. So unfortunately, the supplement industry is pretty dirty, as many people have said before, and there's really no telling whether you might be taking something that is good for you, is bad for you, is banned, is not banned. If it does stick, though, you're right. That is a tough hit for not only Julian Edelman, but for Tom Brady, for the Patriots offense. It's a rough blow for sure.
And we'll get into how it affects them in a bit, but I mean, we'll see if the actual substance comes out, if it was legitimately HGH, or if it's trimeryl denzoretapine, or I made that up. I don't know if that's an actual name, but like what Ninkovich got popped with last year. But the people who were surprised by this, and don't get me wrong, it's upsetting, but really going back to Adrian Peterson coming back from his ACL injury, right, and then having that incredible season. Everybody loves to say, right, what's the line? Oh, ACLs used to be, a year and a half injury. It's amazing what the medical advancements are. What did people think the medical advancements were? This is an injury that's supposed to have a 12 to 15-month recovery period, and guys are coming back in as early as, in some cases, 6 or 7. Did people think that, they just figured out a better way to cut somebody's knee open? Like, I'm upset about this. I'm not surprised by any means. I don't get how people can be. This is not, Julian Edelman should not be back to playing football this soon after tearing his ACL. The writing was on the wall here.
No, you're absolutely right. What has it been? I think it's been 8 or 9 months since he tore, because he tore in the preseason last year.
August, right? August last year.
Right. So, I mean, you're absolutely right. I mean, I'm sure they have figured out how to cut someone open a little better, but it can't be that much of a difference where it would translate into a 6-month cutoff of being able to come back from an injury like that. So you're absolutely right on that case. I would really hope that the actual substance does come out, because, like I said, I was listening to Ninkovich the other day. He was talking about it, went through something, sounds like it was something very similar, where he was, if that's the case, and he was working out and he just happened to take something. I believe the substance that he got popped for was a substance that helps with your metabolism and things like that. So some of these stigmas that go with we tested positive for a PED, like, that doesn't necessarily mean he was taking, I mean, obviously anabolic steroids, because I'm pretty sure nobody takes those anymore.
Right. Then, it's not the cream in the clear.
Right.
It's
exactly.
Not like he's Peyton Manning getting popped with HGH, cough, cough.
Right.
It could have been some supplement. And of course, you talk about supplements and recovery, and everybody wants to go right towards Alex Guerrero, which, again, just people need to be logical about what they're doing. The whole TB12 method, the whole thing Guerrero's done, his whole thing is Eastern medicine, holistic. You're not putting foreign chemicals in your body, all of that crap. So why would you why would he advise a client to put a manufactured chemical into their body? That goes against his entire belief system. Now, maybe he's lying about what the TB12 method is, and it's really just shooting up steroids. And okay, fine, maybe I'm wrong. But what we know about him, and the whole thing everybody has a problem with, is he doesn't go with the traditional NFL training method. It's all holistic and natural, which steroids are not. So, look, I know it's clickbaity. I know it's good it's good radio fodder to say that maybe Guerrero gave Edelman steroids, or Belichick gave Edelman steroids to frame Guerrero so he can get Guerrero away from the team. I genuinely believe that Alex Guerrero has zero to do with this.
Yeah, I'm with you right on that one. I mean, it's so although I will say that the statement that they put out was a little
No, the
strange how
statement
they
was wrong. You want your name
it was
cleared,
very
let
strange.
your other clients be tested and piss clean. And your name's cleared. You
Exactly.
don't need the freaking statement.
Exactly. And then and also, going with that, I mean, you've seen the change and even, another TB12 client, Rob Gronkowski, you've seen over the past, I would say 3 years, how he went from being a very big, bulky type of body type. He's definitely slimmed down over the past few years. I mean, he's not obviously just as strong and just as good as he's ever been, but
He doesn't have that
he's getting
WWE body anymore.
exactly. And I think that is the Alex Guerrero method. It's Tom Brady, it's pliability, it's stretching your muscles, it's being thin and strong structurally, not necessarily just like big, huge muscles. So I'm with you on that. I don't think Alex Guerrero had anything to do with it. But that being said, it was a pretty strange statement from the Alex Guerrero camp.
But it is in the past. This suspension's on the table. All indications are to hold up. And my guess is even if Edelman's appeal is somewhat successful, best case scenario, he's still going to miss a game or two. So what does the Patriots offense do with that? And where do they go from here? Riley McCarron was a hot name as a potential slot receiver, was on the practice squad last year. He's the guy to keep an eye on going to camp. Braxton Berrios is a guy that people think could potentially step into that role and succeed. I've seen Jordan Matthews' name thrown out in that role. The Patriots have a lot of receivers. Not every receiver they have who's NFL caliber is going to make this team, but this certainly makes it interesting. It maybe creates an extra roster spot, but for me, it's all eyes on Braxton Berrios. To me, the guy is here to be Edelman's heir apparent, very much in the same way when they drafted Edelman in the 7th round to be Wes Welker's heir apparent. There was, what was it, a year, 2 years of roster overlap, but it was clear who the next guy was going to be. I think this is an opportunity, not necessarily for Braxton Berrios to Wally Pip Julian Edelman, but he can certainly cement himself as that next guy. To me, it's going to be all eyes on him. It's his spot to lose early in the season.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. I mean, he like you said, it's not like he's gonna jump him right now. But if you think about it, project ahead a couple of years, like you said, that 1 to 2 years of overlap between Welker and Edelman. In 2 years, Edelman's gonna be 34.
And I think his contract's up at the end of next season.
So we're probably not going to see too much more of Julian Edelman unless he has a couple stellar seasons over the next couple of years.
Unless he can keep shooting up and keep it off the tests.
Exactly. Right. So who knows? But I mean, another guy I would look at, you mentioned him, Jordan Matthews. He's a guy who has played that slot role over the course of his NFL career. And I mean, by no means is he a slot receiver body type. I mean, the guy is over 6 feet tall, over 200 pounds, I think. But he's a very good possession receiver. I think he's a guy who can thrive in this offense, provided him and Brady get their timing down. That's another thing about OTAs and all that stuff. But provided they can get their timing down, I think that would be a good combination there. Malcolm Mitchell is another guy. Hopefully he can stay healthy and he would be able to contribute because obviously Chris Hogan is a guy who's going to be there. He's going to be contributing. So yeah, I think between Berrios and Matthews, those two guys who are new to the roster, I think it's a good opportunity for either one of them or both of them for that matter to show out in the eyes of Tom Brady and say, hey, I'm a guy who you can count on whether Edelman's out because of suspension or whether someone else gets hurt or something like that. I'm the guy who you can count on in this offense.
So my thing with Matthews is the Patriots have a history of taking guys they feel are misused and putting them in the correct role where other teams didn't have him in the right role. Jordan Matthews, to me, is an outside receiver. Teams have played him in the slot, but I think that's why he's kind of become, he's a bit of a punchline at this point in the NFL. I think he can be a pretty good player. I know I'm in the minority there, but that's on the outside. I don't think the Patriots will put him in the slot because I think they signed him as one of these guys that, yeah, this guy's been playing in the slot for years. Let's move him outside and see if we can get a little more out of him than other teams have. I think Riley McCarron's name, one other name I want to mention is James White. Now, they bring in Sony Michel, who's going to take a lot of carries. They signed a couple of running backs. Obviously, they did this before knowing Julian Edelman was going to be suspended, but you have to think they at least planned on giving him a bit of a lighter workload, especially early in the season coming off the injury. They have a lot of depth at running back. I would not be surprised if we see James White in the slot, some of what we saw last year. Early in the year when Julian Edelman was hurt. So I think this could be a spot for James White to increase those pass catching numbers as well. All right, that will do it for this Patriots Roundtable. We will have more OTA and mini camp reactions, more X's and O's talk coming up later in the week. So you want to make sure you subscribe to CLNS on YouTube, follow us on Twitter at Patriots CLNS, and check us out online at clnsmedia.com. For Mike Alongi, I'm Alex Barth. Thanks for watching.